Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
The bar graphs, right? So let us begin with the chapter, which is very interesting. Again, it is going to tell you how you can organize your data, right? A random data, how you can organize it in the form of bars. So far, we have learned how we can use the frequency distribution table in order to do this. Then we learned that how we can use that is other than frequency distribution table, we used pictograph to represent the data. Now this is the third type that you are learning, that is to organize your data using the bar graphs. Okay, so let us start with this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to read a bar graph, you will be able to interpret the bar graph, and then you will be able to draw a bar graph according to the given data. Okay, so let us start, and here first of all, let us know what a bar graph is and how we can use this bar graph to represent a particular given random data. So it says, as the pictograph is very time consuming, like we are drawing these pictures and everything, say a single picture represents 100, a single picture represents 6. So whenever we are doing this, we are just continuing drawing a single picture again and again and again. It's very time consuming, and you see that there's very much inaccuracy in the pictograph when we draw using these symbols or figures, right? So if we use bars for the same width with equal spacing, this is very important to note that the bars that you are going to use, it needs to be of same width and it needs to be with the equal spacing to represent the data in which the length of the bars represent the frequency is called a bar graph or bar diagram. Okay, you will understand about this quickly, and for now what I can tell you is just understand this, that now we are going to use certain bars to represent our data, and the bars that we are going to draw, they'll be of same width and they're having equal spacing. Okay, in the higher class you will learn that why these width needs to be equal, how we can put unequal widths for these bars, why the spacing needs to be equal, and how we can use unequal spacing. This is something very complex that you might learn in your higher class. For now, it's very simple to learn about these simple bar graphs. So we can also say that a bar graph, or we can sometimes call it a bar chart, it is a graphical display of data using bars of different heights. See, something like this looks like a bar graph. Simple. I'm sure you might have seen such kind of images at many places, in newspapers, while watching television, in news, you see such kind of data. If you see Kaun Banega Crorepati, there you see when the audience poll is taken, then do you see that the answers, they are shown by certain bar graphs? This is what we use to interpret a given data using bar graph, and this is how it looks like. So let us read this example. It says the following graph tells the favorite color in a class of 50 students. Okay, so now let us understand how we read this particular bar graph. So what you see in front of you is X and Y, these two lines that are perpendicular to each other. This particular vertical line and this particular horizontal line that you see. Okay, these two lines intersect here at a right angle to each other. Okay, first thing. Now, what are we representing? We are representing favorite color. So here, see here, we have got red, orange, yellow, green and purple, which is shown on the horizontal line. Okay, so these are the 5 colors which comes under the category of favorite colors. And now how many students are we asking this? We are asking this to 30 students. Okay, so now let's say if I make a table here, so let us say how many students liked red color. So let's say the answer was 15 students said that they like red color. We'll see how this data has been used in this bar graph and how we have just interchangeably we can read either the information. Now what about orange color? It was liked by 7 students. Then yellow color. It was liked by 7 students again. Then the color green. It was liked by 13 students. Then the color purple. It was liked by 8 students. So if you add them up all together, the answer you will get is 50. So you see that this particular table is usually what you have seen so far in your lesson of data handling. This is kind of an image that you see that you were given a certain data and then you see the corresponding numbers to it. Now what you see here is to this corresponding table that we have just made. This table is basically represented by this bar graph. Let us see how. Do you see here this side? We have got some numbers written. So it is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16. Now this needs to be very much clear to you when we are using these bar graphs. So the table that we make, the horizontal line or the vertical line, these bars are at equal distance. So this distance, this distance, this distance, this distance, they are all equal. Also, the width of the bar, this particular bar, all these bars, the width of these bars is equal to each other. Okay, very important points. Make sure that you keep them in mind. Don't do a mistake that you draw a bar graph with a thin line here and then a broad bar here. No, it's wrong. You cannot draw this kind of an image in your bar graph. They all should be of equal width. Only the thing that can differ is their height. Okay, like you see the first one, that is red color, we have got the maximum height, and if you read it here on the table, it has got this particular height that is in between 14 and 16. So it is approximately at half. So we can say it is representing the number 15. Now again, as we see that the difference, the spacing between the bars and the width of the bars is same. Similarly, whatever unit you are choosing here, it should be same. This is something very important to notice. So here we can write that one unit, this is called a unit. Okay, this single unit is representing 2 students. Okay, each unit is representing 2 students. So here you are taking a jump in twos. So every single unit that you are taking, it's representing 2 students. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. This is why you are jumping in twos. Clear? Now read the data. Orange. Orange is here. And if we make a straight line from here, it is somewhere here. That is at 7. Similarly, you have got yellow with the same height. So yellow and orange, they are 7 and 7 each. Now look at green. It is somewhere here. And if you see, it is between 12 and 14. So it is 13. Now the last one, that is purple. Clearly it is with this particular line that is representing 8. Okay. We are going to see some more examples and then you will be even more clear with the bar graph. From here, what I want you to understand is, keep in mind that the spacing between the bars should be equal. The width of the bars should be equal. Only the thing that will differ is their heights, right? Also, when you have this particular vertical and horizontal line, there on the horizontal line or on the vertical line, you put this particular thing that is in one unit, how many things you are representing. Okay, for here we had one unit representing 2 students. Let us understand about this more using this particular diagram. It says the number of vehicles passing through the crossing every hour from 6 a.m. to 12 noon is shown in the bar graph. 1 unit, read this, 1 unit of length stands for 100 vehicles. Okay, so here this is also written in numbers, that is 1 unit length here is representing 100 vehicles. Now look at here, in this particular image, it is just opposite of how you have seen this. Here the bars were standing vertically. And here you see the bars are standing in the horizontal direction. I'll just color these bars so that it is more visible to you. So this is a single bar. Next one. Here is another one. So here what we see is that these bars, they are basically horizontal bars rather than being the vertical bars. So it is all correct. You either make the horizontal bars or the vertical bars. It is correct. Just the information that you are gathering in this bar needs to be accurately made. How? Here, what we are representing is that the number of vehicles that are passing through the crossing from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. This is what we are gathering this information in the bar graph. So here it says the scale is 1 unit length equal to 100 vehicles. Very important, every time you are making any graph, you need to write what each unit is represented by. Okay, very important, you need to write this in every bar graph. Okay, now earlier in this graph, we saw that the horizontal line was representing what were the preferences like red, orange, yellow, green. Now the opposite thing that we have done here is that here this vertical line is basically representing the time intervals. That is 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11 and 11 to 12. Because it was from 6 a.m. till 12 noon. So we are using like basically each bar is representing 1 hour here. So 6 to 7, 1 hour. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 hour. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1 hour. And so on till you reach from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. So I hope this part is clear how we are using these bars to represent the traffic, right? We are using the how much traffic, how many vehicles are passing in every hour. Clear? Now let us see how many vehicles are passing in the first hour. It is early morning and clearly it shows that very less number of vehicles has passed. Look at this particular horizontal line. This is representing the number of vehicles, right? So how they are representing is, it is clearly written that each unit length represents 100 vehicles. So what are these divisions? It is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 1200. Okay, so here the divisions are in hundreds. So now how many have crossed the passing during the first hour, that is from 6 to 7? It is somewhere here, which is between 100 and 200. So we can say that maybe 150 vehicles passed. Let us see for 7 to 8 hour. So probably this is the time when you go to your school. So you see the maximum number of vehicles passing at this particular time. So it is 1200, right? Now the next one, 8 to 9 hours. This is probably the office time that starts. So here we have got 1000 vehicles. Then from 9 to 10 we have got 900. You see these lines that I'm drawing, I'm just trying to see accurately which particular number is falling at this particular bar length. Okay, so from 10 to 11 what do we have? We have got 600, right? And from 11 to 12 what do we have is 400. Clear? Now I can ask you several questions related to this bar graph. For example, if I ask you how many vehicles are passing from 9 to 10, so you will say it is 900. How many vehicles are passing during the interval of 10 to 11? So the answer is 600. Can you tell me when is the maximum traffic is seen? So the answer is 1200. That is from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. When do you see the minimum traffic on road? So it is from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. because just 150 vehicles were seen passing at during that particular time. So you can answer as many questions as possible just by looking at this particular image. Clear? Now understanding about more here. Look at this image. What you see in front of you is the data that is representing the marks that were obtained by Ravi in different subjects. Okay. So here, every time, as I said, that it's very important that you write what 1 unit length is representing. Okay. So 1 unit length is representing 10 marks here. Okay. So every jump that you see will be in tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And say you can go to 100 or even more, but it depends what the data is representing. Okay. So now, how much marks do you see he has secured in Hindi? So these are the subjects. So either you can write it here, Hindi, and here you write English, and so on, math, science, social science. However, it's also correct that if you write these names in the bars itself, so it doesn't make any difference. But it is very important that you do write that what you are representing here and what you are representing here. These are called the, like what your axes are. It is the this is like representation of what we are using on that particular vertical or horizontal line. So it is very important that you do write what you are representing. So as you can see here, there also, here it is written time interval. Here it is written number of vehicles, right? In the bar here, here we clearly see that these are colors. So here it should be colors, right? And here what do we have? We have got number of students. So it is important that you do write these information with respect to the vertical and the horizontal lines. So now let us read the A question, the part A of the question. It says he scored maximum marks in which subject? So look into the bars, which bar has got the maximum length. Clearly the first bar has got the maximum length, that is Hindi. So the answer is that he has scored maximum marks in Hindi. Now the second question is the B part, in which subject he scored more than 60. So let us see where the 60 is. Here it is. So in which subjects did he score more than 60? So clearly we can see the bar which is representing mathematics and the bar that is representing Hindi. They are more than 60, right? Because the question is more than 60. We don't even know, we don't even answer that the number he has got for 60. No, just the ones that are more than 60. So the answer is Hindi and mathematics. Now the C part. What is the difference between the marks obtained in Hindi and English? So in Hindi, clearly he has obtained 80 marks, you can see from here. And in English, he has secured 60 marks, as you can see here. Right? So what is the difference between the two? Here it is 60, here it is 80. So the difference is 20. Right? So 20 marks difference is seen between the marks obtained in Hindi and English. Now the D part is, in which subject did he score 40 marks? So in which subject do you see he has 40 marks? It is social science, right? So let us write here social studies, 40 marks. And do you now see that how we are simply reading this particular bar graph and answering the questions that follow? Let us do this bar graph then.